Constantine's determination to confront the malevolent forces haunting Abernathy estate burned brighter than ever. After the chilling encounter with Lord Abernathy's spirit in his study, he knew that unraveling the mysteries of the mansion and banishing its curses were not just matters of curiosity but of survival. Seeking counsel once more from Dr. Caldwell became paramount, despite the rumors and the whispers of the historian's own dealings with the supernatural. Constantine knew that Caldwell's knowledge was indispensable. He braved the journey to Caldwell's secluded cottage, heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and dread. The cottage appeared much as it had before, shrouded in the same eerie atmosphere of mystery and neglect. Knocking on the weathered door, Constantine waited with bated breath until it creaked open, revealing dry Caldwell's familiar, weather-beaten face. "Constantine," Caldwell greeted him with a mixture of surprise and concern. "I feared you might return, Dr. Caldwell," Constantine began urgently, stepping into the dimly lit study cluttered with ancient tomes and arcane artifacts. "The ritual, it didn't work. Abernathy's spirit, it appeared to me." Caldwell's expression darkened as he listened, his keen eyes scanning Constantine's face for signs of deception. Finding none, he sighed heavily, his shoulders slumping with resignation. "I had hoped the binding would hold," Caldwell admitted, his voice tinged with regret. "But the forces we are dealing with, they are ancient and powerful. Perhaps we underestimated their resolve. What can we do now?" Constantine asked, his voice edged with desperation. Caldwell paced the room, deep in thought, before finally turning to face Constantine with renewed determination. "We must delve deeper into Abernathy's pact," Caldwell said firmly. "There are hidden truths, forbidden knowledge that may hold the key to breaking the curse once and for all." Together, they spent days poring over ancient manuscripts and deciphering cryptic symbols that hinted at the dark pact forged centuries ago. They retraced Lord Abernathy's footsteps through history, piecing together fragments of his life and the events that led to the curse upon the mansion. Through their research, they uncovered chilling revelations, details of rituals performed under the cover of night. Sacrifices made to appease the malevolent entity known as Malphas, and whispers of a prophecy foretelling the mansion's descent into darkness. "It all leads back to Abernathy's greed," Caldwell muttered grimly one evening, as they sat amidst a sea of parchment and flickering candlelight. "He sought power beyond mortal reckoning, and in doing so, he doomed generations to suffer." Constantine's mind raced with the weight of their discoveries. The curse was not just a matter of restless spirits seeking vengeance. It was a manifestation of ancient forces intertwined with mortal desires and ambitions. "But how do we break the curse?" Constantine pressed, his voice laced with urgency. Caldwell hesitated, his gaze distant as if grappling with an inner struggle. "There is a ritual," he finally said, his tone grave. "A ritual of purification, of cleansing the tainted soul of Lord Abernathy and severing the ties that bind the mansion to its dark legacy." The ritual Caldwell described was fraught with peril, requiring precise timing, rare ingredients, and unwavering resolve. It would involve invoking powers beyond their understanding and confronting the malevolent entity head-on, in its own realm between worlds. As they prepared for the ritual, tension hung heavy in the air. Constantine felt the weight of responsibility pressing down upon him, the lives affected by their actions, the souls trapped in limbo, and the looming threat of the malevolent entity's wrath. The night of the ritual arrived with an eerie stillness, the mansion cloaked in shadows that seemed to whisper ancient secrets and dire warnings. In the heart of the mansion, where Lord Abernathy had first sealed his pact, Constantine and Dr. Caldwell stood before an altar adorned with symbols of protection and power. With practiced precision, they began the incantations, their voices blending into a harmonious chant that resonated through the chamber. The air crackled with energy, charged with anticipation as they forged a barrier of light against the encroaching darkness. But as the ritual reached its climax, a sense of dread washed over Constantine, a realization that they had underestimated the malevolent entity's cunning and resilience. Shadows coalesced around them, swirling with malevolent intent, threatening to shatter their fragile defenses. "We cannot falter now," Caldwell urged, his voice steady despite the rising tide of darkness. "Focus your will, Constantine. We must break the curse before it breaks us." Drawing upon every ounce of strength and determination, Constantine channeled his resolve into the ritual. His mind became a conduit for ancient energies, his spirit a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching despair. And then, in a blinding flash of light that seared through the darkness, the ritual reached its zenith. For a heartbeat, the mansion trembled as if caught between worlds, the very fabric of reality warping under the strain of their efforts. When the light finally faded and silence descended upon the chamber, Constantine dared to open his eyes. The air felt lighter, the oppressive weight of malevolence lifted like a fog dispersing in the morning sun. "It is done," Caldwell breathed, his voice tinged with relief and disbelief. But as they stepped cautiously out into the night, the echoes of their victory mingled with a sense of unease. The mansion stood silent and still, its ancient walls bearing witness to the battles fought and the curses broken. As Constantine gazed up at the stars glittering in the night sky, he knew that their journey was far from over. The shadows of Abernathy Estate would forever haunt his memories, a testament to the enduring struggle between light and darkness, good and evil. But for now, as he turned to bid farewell to Dr. Caldwell and contemplate the uncertain future ahead, Constantine allowed himself a moment of quiet satisfaction. They had faced the malevolent forces that threatened to consume them, and in doing so, they had forged a bond that transcended time and space. And though the malevolent entity lurked in the shadows, biding its time, Constantine was determined to remain vigilant. For he had learned that the greatest battles were not fought with swords and shields, but with knowledge, courage, and the strength of the human spirit. As he walked away from Abernathy Estate, leaving behind the echoes of ancient curses and restless spirits, Constantine knew that he carried with him the lessons learned and the hope for a future free from the shadows of the past. But little did he know that, somewhere beyond the veil of reality, unseen forces were already stirring. Their presence felt in the faint whisper of the wind and the flicker of distant stars. In the aftermath of their victory over the malevolent forces at Abernathy Estate, Constantine returned to his normal life with a newfound sense of purpose tempered by vigilance. The memories of the harrowing battles against ancient curses and vengeful spirits lingered in his mind, a constant reminder of the fragile balance between light and darkness. Months passed without incident, and Constantine began to believe that they had truly broken the curse that had plagued the mansion for centuries. He immersed himself in his work, focusing on his studies and cherishing moments of peace with renewed gratitude. Yet, despite the semblance of normalcy, Constantine remained vigilant, always watchful for signs of the malevolent entity's return. He kept in touch with Dr. Caldwell, who continued his research into the occult and the supernatural, uncovering hidden truths and ancient prophecies that hinted at darker days to come. It was during one such visit to Dr. Caldwell's cottage that Constantine sensed a shift in the air, a subtle disturbance that prickled the hairs on the back of his neck. The sky had darkened unnaturally, as if a storm loomed on the horizon, casting a pall over the tranquil countryside. Inside the cluttered study, drive, Caldwell greeted Constantine with a troubled expression. "There have been omens," Caldwell began without preamble, his voice low and urgent. "Signs that the malevolent entity stirs once more." Dread settled like a stone in Constantine's stomach. "But we performed the ritual," he said, his voice tinged with disbelief. "We broke the curse." Caldwell shook his head solemnly. "Some forces are not easily vanquished," he murmured. "The malevolent entity we face, it is ancient, its influence woven into the very fabric of existence. Breaking the curse was but a temporary reprieve." As they spoke, shadows seemed to gather in the corners of the room, whispering secrets of forgotten war and dire warnings. Constantine's heart raced with a mixture of fear and determination, fear of the looming threat, and determination to confront it head-on. "We must prepare," Caldwell declared, his voice firm despite the tremor of uncertainty. "There are rituals yet untried, ancient texts yet unread. We must delve deeper into the darkness if we are to stand a chance." Together, they pored over forbidden manuscripts and consulted with occult scholars who dared to tread where others feared to go. Each revelation brought them closer to understanding the malevolent entity's true nature, an entity hungry for power, driven by centuries-old grudges and a thirst for vengeance.